Many thanks for staying here on News Desk. In a bit, we'll be bringing you some sports action. But before that, let's talk about this very pressing issue for a lot of us here. And electricity consumers could, in the coming days, have some challenges in terms of continuous supply of power. Now, this follows Talos' decision to extend for another 2 weeks the completion of works on the Jubilee FPSO. Supply of gas from Talo to the turbo gas processing plant was expected to resume from tomorrow, April 9, after a 2-week shutdown of the vessel used in extracting gas from the Jubilee field. So what could have accounted for this delay? I sure don't know, but George Affair of our business desk has a lot more information and is joining me now in studio to share some of that particular information with us. So, George Affair, many thanks for joining us. So, really, I mean, what's the problem with the FPSO?
Well, this morning there was an official statement from Talo in the UK to explain to us. Basically, we understand that there's a bearing on the FPSO vessel that actually helps it to turn around, and there's a problem there. So they don't want to complicate things, and they had to freeze the work of trying to basically the vessel extract oil, or let's say the natural crude from the seabed, and there are pipes that extract the gas into a separate component, and then they export it through the pipelines to the gas, a turbo gas processing plant. And because of this problem, they don't want to complicate things. They had to actually shut down the floating vessel, the vessel used in collecting crude oil from the seabed as well as gas. And that's what we understand is the problem.
Okay, and we are being told that now it's going to take an additional 2 weeks.
That's the projected time, because they think that they don't want to more of like bring the situation of the infrastructure, compromise the infrastructure on the FPSO or on the Jubilee field. And that is why they took that decision. So, well, they are saying that 2 weeks, and we are hoping that this 2 weeks would indeed be 2 weeks.
Is this in any way going to affect the current supply, and whether or not it's even going to affect supply to our homes?
The promise we've had from the Power Minister is that they have enough crude oil to try and power the machine. But it's not just about having enough light crude oil, because what we understand is that when you even have to do the changeover, it takes some days. Yeah. To try and change it over from gas to light crude. Now, if it's not even done well, it could even break down the whole machine itself. Something like the Ameri plant, which generates over 400 megawatts, actually relies solely on gas. So we know that plant might not be working because of this challenge. And also, it takes some days. So it is not as easy as just getting enough light crude available to power the plant. But even the switch over, are we assured that when the FPSO start working today, we are assured of continuous supply of gas, maybe for the next 1 month or 2 months? Because you don't want to stop using light crude for your machines, switch to gas, and then there's another breakdown again. So those complications could result in us having some challenges when it comes to getting these natural gas to power those plants, for them to release to your homes in terms of power supply. There is a problem, and there will be a problem.
Well, some are even suggesting that already there's a shortfall because there are pockets of power outages as well.
Power disruptions, and you don't know whether it's because of the 400 megawatts. It's a lot of power supply to a lot of people. So it's going to be a problem. We understand that the minister, the deputy minister of power, is today meeting the engineers, those who have been working on these machines today, and trying to get around it. But don't forget, crude oil is quite expensive. Yeah. So it's a big challenge getting money to go in for this crude, and also the fact that are we assured that this gas supply will continue? So you don't want to try to change over today. That's a problem. You end up breaking the whole machine, and that could plunge the country into serious darkness.
Wow. George, many thanks for that update. And that was George Jaffe bringing us a lot more updates on that shutdown. We are told it's going to take another 2 weeks before we can get some gas flow into the system. I don't know how it's going to play out, but let's see what happens in the next few weeks. And you're still watching this here on your Joy News channel on Multi TV. Time now for some sports with George Jr.